We were always hearing more and expansion and growth.
And in this 16-story former Wachovia Bank turned luxury condo and office building in downtown Greensboro called Center Point, Madison Carroll Snyder got to experience all that firsthand.
On a clear day, when the sun set and you can see Pilot Mountain, it's beautiful.
And when she takes in this western view near the top of the 233-foot tall building, not only is she standing on top of the central part of the family business, she's standing on top of a building where she and her sisters spent time growing up. The building is the brainchild of her father, Roy Carroll, whose success as a real estate developer and builder prompted Forbes magazine to call him in 2022 the guru of Greensboro. Today, as the Carroll Company's chief of staff and director of Carroll Hospitality, Madison has an office in the Center Point corporate headquarters with an image of her dad close by. When was your first official job, I guess, inside the building?
Inside the building was after I graduated, but all through school. When I was in high school, I did a maintenance inventory at our different communities. And then I also cleaned every toilet in Center Point with my younger sister.
Excuse me?
I cleaned every toilet in Center Point, yeah.
No kidding.
We cleaned all the apartments that were vacant right before the building opened.
Wow.
To build character.
Yeah. Was that at his insistence, or is that just something he said, that's something I have to do?
He said, it's summer, you guys need to get a job, and I've got one for you.
Fast forward to the middle part of the last decade when, as a project engineer, Madison would help oversee the construction of a project that now takes up most of a city block across from the ballpark, the 289-unit Carroll at Belmead luxury apartment community and the adjacent 108-room Hyatt Place Hotel, which, after opening, was managed by an outside company for about 2 years.
You know, they were in another state. They didn't understand the Greensboro market, and they were trying their best. But at the end of the day, I said, we're a block away from this project. This is our hometown, and we know these customers because they're our friends and our neighbors.
So in 2019, Madison started running a new company called CARROLL Hospitality, which today not only manages the day-to-day operations here at the Hyatt Place, where many of the rooms overlook the ballpark, but quite possibly most, if not all, of the company's future hotels and restaurants. What are some of the hot trends that customers are demanding now in terms of hotel rooms?
Right. I mean, there's the standards you look for in hotels. You need a comfortable bed, fast Wi-Fi, hot coffee.
Really?
Or like the staples that uniformly everyone wants to find.
Bathrooms aren't quite as important these days.
Not quite as important as long as they're very well lit.
Needless to say, all that emphasis will carry over to the company's next big project, which will sit diagonally across the Eugene-Belmead Street intersection from the Hyatt Place and will essentially wrap around the city parking deck that currently sits in the middle of that block. CARROLL at Parkside will feature 348 luxury apartments with some big hospitality components, an 8-floor AC by Marriott hotel topped by a 9th floor featuring a rooftop upscale restaurant called the Bristol. That name comes from the Carroll family dog, whose name is Bristol. The Carroll Companies calls CARROLL at Parkside the largest development in the history of downtown Greensboro.
I mean, $155 million in development costs.
So and that is, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, it's the largest in downtown Greensboro history.
That's...
with the apartments, with the AC hotel, the Bristol restaurant. There's also going to be an event venue that can seat 300 people, which is so needed in downtown. So
as she walks through her company's hotel lobby, Madison Carroll Snyder expects to hear and experience even more business expansion and growth. Reaching this point, she admits, was helped by her being the daughter of the company's founder, but at the same time...
He has always said, we're not going to have nepotism here. So I tell people, we have a reverse nepotism policy here. You know, at first a lot of folks would say, oh, I've got this thing, I'm waiting for Roy to get an answer to me. Could you ask him about it? And my answer is, no, my stuff goes to the bottom of the pile. I don't get any preferential treatment at all, and honestly have to work harder to kind of earn his respect.